and Dan is the founder of Sacred Journey Institute. I'm here today to ask Dan a few questions about the Institute. So Dan, can you tell me what can I expect when I'll decide I want to go to Sacred Journey Institute?
Well, Sacred Journey Institute is about a few different things. One, we have an incredible program for craniosacral therapy, and it's a shamanic approach to craniosacral. So just to explain a little bit about what the shamanic approach is we're not only teaching students craniosacral therapy, but we're teaching them how to work with their own skills and their gifts, like maybe their intuitive abilities, and bring that into the work.
Okay, so how long is the program?
The program is it's split at two different levels that you can take. One, there's a 7-level program for a shamanic approach to craniosacral therapy, and it covers all the craniosacral techniques, and it goes into our concepts and different ways that we work. There's also an 11-step program, 11 classes that we use, and that's the Sacred Journey, where you learn the craniosacral therapy, but it goes into some more evolved modalities, such as miasm release therapy, Sacred Journey therapy, goes into vibrational healing therapy. So it gives you a much more evolved package for the evolved light worker.
Okay, so I guess my next question is, who is this school for? Is this school only for massage therapists, or people only dedicated into some kind of healing techniques and schools, or who can take your classes?
We actually call our institute Higher Education for Healers and Light Workers. So it's kind of, if people are involved in health and healing, it goes to a much more evolved package, where we're talking about not just the physical, but we're going into the emotional body, and we're going into what we would call the spiritual part, which is very important in our program, and that's opening up our belief systems to new ways of looking at things.
Oh. So, because I'm one of the instructors, and I see how people are really truly changing throughout the classes, can you tell me more about those changes that are occurring in all of the students that are taking your classes?
Yeah, this is what we would call maybe the sneak attack of our school. Is there's a lot of interpersonal transformation, and we might call it personal growth. But people really change when they come through the Institute. And part of the reason for that is we're doing a lot of work in the subconscious. Craniosacral therapy, the way we work with it, with a shamanic approach, we work deep in trance, and we go what's called like the alpha state. And in the alpha state is where our self-healing starts to kick in, and that's where it starts to happen. We have suppressed emotions that are probably it's the core effect of disease and dysfunction, and most of those emotions are in our subconscious. And craniosacral therapy, the way we work with craniosacral therapy, it's a doorway to the subconscious. And not only is it an incredible modality in itself, but it's a way that we tap in to our inner emotions. And if we can let go of fears and insecurities and worries, those are the very things that hold us back in life. So not only is it for the therapist that wants to go through and be a craniosacral therapist, but it's incredible for anybody, for personal growth, to take it in to a new world for themselves.
And actually that's what we are noticing lately, that the majority of our students are not therapists. They are just people who are searching for the meaning of life, something deeper. Yes.
Yeah. And so we do go to an incredible deep place with this program. And we end up with the program, and when we bring the gifts out in these students now are working with things, let's say schizophrenia. Or you can look at the children, which are diagnosed with autism and diagnosed with ADHD. And the people coming out of our program are working with these children, and it's incredible. And not only they're working with them, but we're taking away the word disorder, and we're looking at their gifts.
So working with people that are just not being understood by the society. And even right now with autistic children, actually Dan's daughter is one of the most amazing instructors here at Sacred Journey, and she's dedicated in helping children that are not being understood by the society, and very often they are called ADHD children or autistic children. So we basically go deeper and try to the source and try to understand what's really happening with those children and why they have the name ADHD, because this is...
Well, we take away the word ADHD,
Yes.
we take away the word autism. And so now there's new words looking at these children, and although they're very general, we're looking at star children, and crystal children, and rainbow children. And when we look at these children in a different way, we are actually learning from these children.
So actually, in a program, we can take class that is only dedicated to work with the special needs children, right? And a lot of parents will take this class to be able to understand their own child better,
Yes.
and maybe even find out techniques and ways of allowing those children to relax more, right?
Yeah, and we have a variety of programs. We have the classes we have with working with the gifted children. We have, and it covers what the medical model might call autistic children, or ADHD, or cerebral palsy. We take off those names and we look at these children's gifts, and it's an incredible, incredible classes. But we also have classes designed for massage therapists. We have classes specially designed for working with cancer. We have a program where we teach vibrational healing. And part of vibrational healing actually is the therapist going to a place in themselves where they vibrate at a high level. And when you raise the vibration of the person on the table, actually cancer cannot exist in that vibration. So we can start with talking about foods and diets and things like that. And then what we do is we go to the emotional core. Cancer has an emotional core. And when we look at, say, resentment or anger or guilt, those emotions that are suppressed in our body are actually guarantees for cancer. And those emotions are in our subconscious. We might not even be realizing those emotions. And craniosacral is a great doorway to take us into those emotions. And as we start to raise our own vibration, bring light workers through this program, and they're vibrating at such high levels, actually their presence will help assist somebody turning around a disease.
Okay, so I have another question, which is actually about meaning of shamanic approach to craniosacral therapy, because we see a lot of craniosacral therapy out there. So why your program is different? Can you tell me more about it?
Okay. One thing that comes through right now is the original communication.
Yeah.
Because our program started, it has its roots in osteopathy, and that's part of the medical model. And in that medical model, we exist in our communication right here, in our intellect, and that's the scientific mind. But to us, as a shamanic approach to craniosacral, only the scientific mind is very limiting to us. We actually have a field that we communicate in first, and we also have a heart that we communicate empathically, and these are our primary sources of communication, where the mental and the intellect is really designed for creating, not communicating. So we get to use our intuitive abilities, and we teach students how to work with It's really kind of slipping out of the mental and coming into our heart space and working at more expanded levels. And
so using the visionary skills and using...
well, it doesn't stop at visionary skills. It goes into communicating by channel.
Yes.
Either from our higher self, we can communicate with spirits, we can communicate the information that we have been able to bring in that's not in libraries is incredible. And we're working with schizophrenia, we're working with cancer and diseases that the medical model really stumbles with. And anybody can really come into this program.
Yes.
And not only are you doing your self-work and your self-growth, you can study craniosacral therapy, you can go into these advanced evolved modalities that we have and work with these people, things that have never been done before.
Well done. I just wanted to say thank you so much for speaking with me today, and I'll see you next time.